Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing? It's kind of a crazy day. Yeah, I do a lot of things. So we are just doing some live from. We did some live from TikTok, and then I decided to come at least also do something here. And I want to say, what are you doing? Luze Andrew Anderson is my name. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are catching me from. I'm super excited to be here. It's been a while since I came at night, but of course, in case you're here, then you're doing such a great job. Yeah, in case you're here, you're doing such a great job. So I want to say thank you very much for watching. This is Luze Andrew Anderson. So I want to say thank you very much. So for starters, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yeah, as long as you're catching me. Oh my goodness, Kasaija Aisha. As long as you're catching me. Oh my goodness. Forgive that. I was checking on the computer to see if my sound is nice. So that was Kasaija Aisha. Kasaija Aisha, that's a rare name. It's a rare name, being Kasaija, yeah? You're Kasaija and at the same time, you're Kasaija and you're Aisha. It is rare. So I have a lot of light. I always don't use the upper light at night when I'm working. But I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to all of you guys. I'm working on my hours. Yes, I started off, we did a TikTok live, which went from, I think, what time? From around 6 to 10. From around 6 to 10, and we were doing that live. And I'm not regretting it. I'm super excited why I did it. So guys, I live off grid. My name is Luze Andrew Anderson. I live off grid, so I don't have how should I call it? I don't know what I should call it, but I stay me and my son. I'm a single dad, a dedicated 24 hours single dad. So I'm always with my son. He's called Tyler. So right now, when I started doing this live, I think he got a little bit tired, and I love that with him because he's known the norm and how things are supposed to be working. So when it is time for sleeping, for some reasons, he just goes by himself. He goes to bed. When it is time for him to sleep, he just decides to go, though it was quite really hard to convince him. Most of the times it was basically me taking him to sleep, but right now he knows when it is his time to go to sleep. Yeah, so I would say it is an achievement to me. It is an achievement to me that right now I don't have to force him to go to sleep, but he just decides and he notices that it is time, then he goes to sleep. But being here, I've learned quite a lot of things being off grid, losing all my friends, being off grid, being a single dad, being me with my son alone. It's been quite a hard thing, I should say. But I don't regret it. If I had another opportunity to do the same thing, basically I would do it, to be off grid and be with my son. I would do it a million times. I've learned like I've learned about life. I've learned about money. Given the fact that I live alone, I do everything alone. For the people who have been following when we were cooking food, so I made some food. Yes, I made some food. Today I made genus mixed with meat. Then I made also rice. That's what we took today, and it was quite fun. I think I would have. I'm going to show you a little bit later. Yeah, I will show you a little bit later when you get a couple of view. Then I'll show you. I cooked very early in the morning. Of course, I woke up early, so he had to go to school. I took him to, of course, I don't take him. A car comes and picks him, so Tyler went to school. So I had to stay here. I made food. I had to wash some clothes. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky. I don't know if I could show you. this place is kinda a mess because now Tyler knows how to take his bath. So you can see, look at that mess. That is Tyler's mess. Now that towel is from taking tea. That is the cup you're seeing. Then of course he first went to shower. That is the towel you're seeing there. Then he's having all his toys here. All of them here. The reason why I always put up that, I want him to always play when he's around me. Yeah. I want him to play when he's around me. So when I'm working, because you've seen, I'm going to show you. Basically, I'm in the office. This is one room for starters, by the way, for the guys who are watching too. This is one room. Basically, where I am right now, that is Tyler's playground as a single dedicated dart. Then if we can come this side, I think you're going to see a lot of opposite. So if you can see me here when I'm working, you cannot notice that I'm having a child down there playing. And when he's playing now, guys, you have come. This is my office, yeah? This is my office. This is where I work from. So if I can take you through, this is the office. So you can see this is a laptop. This is a laptop. There's another laptop here. So this is my office. Then my son, when he's playing, because I have to monitor him as a single dedicated 24 hours dart, that is my son's playground. So basically I'm seeing him. And imagine from this side to the other side. So now let me switch again. So if I switch again, no one can believe. I want to put the wires are entangled. Don't worry. The wires are entangled in my stand. So no one can believe that I can work from here. My son is there. And now my kitchen is there. If I can take you to my kitchen, it is seconds away already. I'm in the kitchen. So, oh my goodness. Okay. So today what we made, this is rice, yeah. And then I made some gin nuts. That's what I made, Ugandan made. And immediately from there, if I switch just like that, then I'm in my office. As simple as that. So you see, I can monitor everything. And that, all of that is intentional. It is intentional that I have to monitor everything. Then if I go this side, which I haven't shown you, and for the people who have been following, maybe you can go there and watch it. So if I go the other side, that is my bedroom, my kids' bedroom. Then I'm still having the bathroom and the toilet. Everything is just around me. So for some reasons, I don't know. I don't know where I should start, but doing the fatherhood, because I always do this documentary for the reasons that I have to remind myself where I'm coming from. We can never know you can never know where you're going, yeah? You can never know where you're going if you don't know where you're coming from. So basically, you have to know, where is it that I come from? So me, I always remind myself, where is it that I come from? So if I know where I come from, that basically knows where I am right now. And that basically puts me in a position to know where I am going. So if I put all that in mind, I know things are not working out well. Basically, I'm a 24 dedicated single dad. So that means I have 24 hours with my son. So because I have 24 hours with him, I know how he wakes up, I know how he goes to school, I know how he comes back, I know how he eats, I know basically everything. So I have to monitor everything. And I decided not to work, like showing up to what we call the 9 to 5. So I was like, I'm not going to do a 9 to 5 because I want to be with my son. I want him to grow up to the person I want him to be. So I dedicate all that time. So that's why we stay in this small space that I can monitor him, and I know what he does, and I groom him to the kind of a person I basically want him to be. So if someone asks me, why is it that you stay with him? Basically, I want him to be me, but a little bit better than me. So I'm teaching him all the things I know when he's still young. So when he grows up, he will choose the kind of direction he wants, but at least he would have my values. And if he grows up like that, then I'll be a happy father. So today, because I work from home, basically I have a few do's and don'ts. And the do is to be on YouTube. I be here, I chat. I don't do this basically for money. It's basically I'm documenting my life, me and my son. I'm documenting it so that other people could look up to it. And for the people who have been following and you've watched many videos, other videos of course that I have done, you will notice that a lot is being shared, and it is not it's not by default, it is intentional. So everything I do and I show you, it is intentional. So today the day went, I would say really nice, but most of the times I work online because I work from home, because it is intentional, because I want to be with my son. So I don't want to show up at work. So what I do is I work from home. So I do a lot of things when you guys are not watching. But I do a lot of things and I'm like, I'm supposed to show up here, I'm supposed to show up here, but in the same space. Because there is, of course, we have the modern life, and right now we are having, they bought what we would call women empowerment. And women empowerment has done a lot of harm than good. And why would I say it has done a lot of harm than good? Because when it comes to the ladies that we are having, they have to show up at work, yeah? You're having a family, you're having kids. Imagine as a lady, yeah? You're a lady and you've been pregnant for 9 months, yeah? You've been pregnant for 9 months. And then you wake up early in the morning, you give birth. And when you give birth, you get a house helper, what you guys call a housemaid. You get a house helper to help you with your kid, a life you've brought in life. Do you get my point? You've brought a life in life. But again, you're giving that responsibility to a house help or a maid, as you call it, and is the one taking care of your kid. I sat down for a very long period of time and I'm like, why would I get another individual take care of my kid if I'm still alive? Because one thing I know for the best is that we have short time. Yeah, we have short time. It's not like oh, let me switch off this, yeah? Sorry about that. Let me switch off that. So at the end of the day, it's not like I have a lot of time. No, I don't have a lot of time. So why would I really sacrifice my son's life, the individual I gave life to, for someone else to take care of? When I thought about that, I was like, that is not fair. I was like, I'm going to give up everything I do in life. Yes, yeah. I'm having you, Kasaja Aisha. You're saying hi, hello, Kasaja. Then FX Flyer, you're saying good evening, bro. Good evening, FX Flyer. How you doing? I'm talking about you taking care of your kids. I don't know if you guys have kids, yeah. I don't know if you guys have kids. I don't know if Aisha, you have kids. I don't know if FX, you have kids. But me, I just woke up early in the morning and I was like, I contemplated between it. And I'm like, being with my son and then working or hiring a maid or a house helper, as I call it, hiring a house helper to be helping out with my kid, be in the sleep, wake him up, take him to school, bring him back. I made the calculations, I made the contemplations, and then I was like, what really works? But it is me who gave him life. I was like, I'm going to give up everything I do in life so that I can spend 24 hours with him. And I basically did that. I spent 24 hours with my son. He's only 3 years, but of course, making four next month in April. That is, we are in April. He's making on the 29th of May, he's going to be making 4 years. So I felt like maybe he should learn everything I know, yeah? Of course, I'm seeing you, FX. Good evening, Bob. Of course, Kasai Aisha is saying yes. So I was like, why is it that I would give him another person, and of course I'm going to be working so hard for him, yeah, making of course making him go to school, then of course those are the basic needs of life. And I was like, why would I do all that, and I'm looking for money instead of taking care of him, mentoring him to become the kind of a person that I want him to become. There is something you guys should not forget. A baby between 1 year to 3 years, they are getting someone they would love, someone they would like. It's just like a dog. Me, I have a couple of dogs. So they are learning this someone. So if you're not in their lives, they will not learn you. They will not know your smell. They will know how you talk. They wouldn't know a lot of things about you. Then between a kid between the age of 4 to 12 years, that's when they born with their parents. So me, I took a decision and I was like, I've been with him since he was one. So now why would I let him go, be with a mother or be with relatives or be with anyone? And I'm here. And I was like, no, I'm going to be with him. I'm going to mentor my son to become the kind of person that I want him to become. So I've taught him a lot of things. That the way I talk is basically the way he talks, and it is intentional. The way I take myself is basically the way he takes himself. And remember, he's only 3 years old, but it is intentional to put that in his life. And when he grows up and when he's like 11, so basically he would have chosen a given kind of life. But by that time, when he's 10 and I'm with him, so he would basically do whatever I tell him. Because now, by that time, when a kid is between 6 to 12, you're their superhero. Not even between 6 to 12, it is between 6 to 18 years. It is basically dad or mom, whoever has been in their lives, is their superhero. He calls me superhero. I call him a superhero once in a while, but most of the time I call him my guardian angel. I tell him that you're my guardian angel and I am your guardian angel. So it was intentional for me to be with him. Now, because we are off grid, and the reason why I came up with this and I did this live at this time is because I always want to document these things so that when he grows up, he will know these things and he will give it value. So I also changed the kind of work I would do, because you have to look for money, you don't have to spend time with your kids. But at the end of the day, I figured out the way how I could do it. That's why I decided I'm going to be working off social media so that I can support him and I can support me, given the fact that I'm just trying it out for the first time. So that means it can either work out or even fail. But I didn't go for failing. I'm like, it has to work out. It has to work out. It has to really work out. I don't know, Aisha, which country are you in? I want to know which country are you in. So it is intentional that I did whatever I did and it is intentional. So imagine I did a live on TikTok which lasted over 5 hours. But before I went to bed, I'm like, no, because today I did not post nothing on YouTube. I did not put up anything. Then I'm like, no, at least I'm going to come and I talk for a couple of maybe minutes, but at least show up. And I've done it. So it doesn't matter how many minutes. Right now we are in 20 minutes and 22, 23 seconds, but at least I've shown up. It is something that I do. Of course, I'm supposed to be here 24 hours on YouTube. But because stuff happens, that's why I put up how the day went of Offgrid late night chat. So I don't know if you guys have kids, you can tell me how you're managing them. Me, I decided to come off grid and spend a lot of time with my son. And I've been with my son since was one. Now he's going to be making 4 years next month on the 29th. I didn't know that would happen, but at least I tried. I've tried. And it makes me a proud dad. Yeah, it makes me proud dad. I know very many people have conversation between, how you're supposed to do parenting. Now, a person like me, Aisha is saying he's in Uganda. Aisha, you're in Uganda. Wow, that is beautiful. So at the end of the day, I feel like I've made it in life. Me being there for my son as a single there. I cook food. They pick him up. I prepare him for school, and I do it me myself. So I feel like I'm a proud dad. So I always feel like I want to document these things because there are very many options. I can do interviews, I can do a lot of things because I got the experience. But that's not what I want. I feel like this where I started as the BCM Uganda, the YouTube channel that you guys are on. It is intentional. When I did the interviews initially, then we went into politics, then we changed and we came here. And then we changed the language we are using, that we are using English. And then most of the people, when they notice you're using English, then they go. And then it doesn't matter which country they are in. You'll be in your country and someone who is supposed to be serving you is supposed to be using English. Because where you are, you're not using Luganda. You get the point. You're not using Luganda, you're using English. So the people who would save you from wherever you are, they would not understand Luganda, they would understand English. So I woke up one day, though that was like 6 years ago, and I'm like, when it comes to 2026, I'll change the kind of language that we use here on PCM Uganda. We'll be using English to save other people. Right now, you could not know, and you're like, I want people only speaking Luganda. But when you're stuck from wherever you're stuck in, the people who will save you, because even where you are, you don't use Luganda to those people. So the people who will come to save you will have to use English. Then CNN or Al Jazeera or whatever, they will pick up the story. So that's why other countries, because they have influencers who use English, they easily get saved, and Ugandans hardly get served in those countries. Why? Because the influences that we are having in the country are using Luganda. So your bosses will not understand. Other people, other media will not understand. But they want the language they can understand. So when you want me to use Luganda, of which I can use Luganda, but now I want to cut across that even your boss would understand me. You get that when they do anything bad to you, when I come and I'm using English, they would understand. Because why is it that other export labor for other countries like in Ethiopia, Somalia, whatever countries, those guys have what they call a minimum wage. So if they have a minimum wage, they are like, if we are exporting labor in your countries, you cannot pay them anything less than 2M. And then when it comes to our country, they just don't care. They just don't care. So those are the things. That's why I made a change of this channel with a simple or tiny publicity that I'm having, that if these people could understand basically what I'm doing, yeah, like I'm using English, because when they get in a mess, when you get in a mess, if you're not in Uganda, I will use English. I will do TikTok, I will do Facebook, I will do YouTube, and the information will get the right people so that you can get saved. So that's why I was like, let me use English. But now, because people are noticing that I'm using English, they leave and they forget. When you get in a mess in the country that you're in, not even anyone, not even the national TVs here in Uganda would use Luganda for you to get served. But guess what? An influencer who uses English, because right now I have the friends, I have no subscribers who use English. I have subscribers, oh my goodness. I have Kenyans, I have Tanzanians, I have some people. I have like two in the UK, the people who came in for this conversation. So at the end of the day, follow the people who use English in your country. Why? When you get in any mess there in your country, because you follow the people who use Luganda, guess what? Tell them your story. It will not get anywhere. It will not get anywhere. But guess what? This is BCM. You have a privilege. I'm here. Now I'm using English. Yeah, I can use English. I can use Kiganda. But now when anything happens to you, if I have your friends and you tell them maybe to subscribe on this channel, so I will use English. You WhatsApp me and you say, Anderson, whatever is happening this side is not good. And then guess what will happen? I'll get the information. I'll bring it on the platforms where your friends also subscribe. And then we'll make a lot of noise and you'll be served. But I cannot, even if I have 1,000,000 subscribers, but the followers that we are having use basically Kiganda, Luganda. It will be unfair. Even if I have 2,000,000 subscribers, I'll come here and I'll say my things in Luganda and you will never get served. But those people listen to English. Yeah, I'm trying to transit from what we were doing. Of course, this was a political channel. I started off as me as an individual, doing interviews with the celebrities in Uganda. I can still do that, but I felt like we have a big gap in between there. We have a big gap that, Ugandans, we don't have influencers who use English. And when you get in any mess you get up, that side, no one is going to come to save you. All the influencers will come, they will talk. But because the people they are having who follow them are basically using the native language, you will not be saved. So this is for your advantage. This is for your advantage. I'm telling you the truth. I can do politics here. I can still bring Bobby Wine information here. But you have BCM2. You go to BCM2. Follow up. That one is still doing legit. It's still doing the same content. But here we changed. And why did I change? Because I have a son who is growing up. And I'm a single dad, I'm a single dad, man. I've been with him since he was 1 year old. Now he's making 4 next month on the 29th of May. So I felt like I had to be into something I can control. And it's not politics. So I was like, let me dedicate again BCM2 for politics. And then we put up this BCM because this is my path. This is where I started from. You get my point, guys. So it's not in a bad way. You'll be like, I don't want to listen to guys who use English in Uganda. When you get messed up, even the court you'll be in when something has happened, those people will be using English and you will not have no one to save you. Unless the platforms which are big using English that will save you in your native country. And in Uganda, how many influencers do we have using English? Not in a bad way. They are doing interviews with the people who we know as Ugandans. But what if we cut across? That is something that I'm coming up with. That is something that I'm doing right now. That is something that I'm trying to push. You might not understand it now, but maybe later you'll be like, this is what Anderson was talking about. It is intentional. Because if it was because I want to get money, I know what to do. I know what to do to make money. We'll go chibozibozi, we'll do our conversation in Luganda. I'm super connected. I've been in entertainment world for 15 years. But why would you go watch a video which is discussing people? Really, why would you go? You discuss people who cheated on, who divorced, who, you know, and then when you reach that time when they need to save you, those people you've been watching, they will not save you. And then you will come to me. But guess what? When I was building from zero, you were not there. The only thing you're supposed to do is subscribe, man. Me, what I'm trying to do, I've seen some guys who have joined. What I'm trying to do, guys, I want to get influencers using English in Uganda. And other people could be watching, and we are not moving on trends or breaking stories. No, we are going to be global. That's what I want. Nigerians could be watching, South Africans, people, in Europe, Asia, and they can watch us. And when you get messed up, wherever you are watching it from, this platform will be able to help you. But if I'm using Luganda, which you minimize right now, they would not understand, even if I have 2 million subscribers. Because the people I would be having, they will be the people that we relate with. I'm not going to make this conversation so long because I've been on TikTok for 5 hours. So now I'm going to be calling it a wrap. I think we've gotten like 31 minutes. I think 30 minutes is well good. So for the people who come and watch this, if you feel like what I've told you is really important and it adds value, you can go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification button so that each time I come through and I'm making live streams, you're among the first people to be watching. Because I'm not doing this platform for me, I'm doing this platform for basically you. That's why I'm using English. Most of the people went out of Uganda because those are the people I want. I don't want people in Uganda. That's why we don't discuss people. That's why we don't do interviews. Even yet, we can do all of that. I still remain Luze Andrew Anderson. I'm going to be calling it a wrap. I want to say good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night for everyone who has been on. Tomorrow, I have to wake up my son, to go to school a little bit early morning. Yeah. So I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm going to be calling it a wrap. Thank you very much for watching. Until then, I want to say bless. Yeah.